video is going to be a tutorial on this. Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a tutorial on this pink and purple, sort of monochromatic, dark look that I'm wearing right now. I asked you guys a few videos back if you wanted to see a tutorial on this look. I linked it in the video. It was this one right here. Picture, obviously I'm not wearing this lip color, but as you can see, like, you can wear it with whatever lip color you want. I just really wanted to break out a dark or a bold lip because if you've noticed, I've been pretty good about not wearing them that much lately. I definitely went through a streak where it was only dark or bold. So I've decided to rock the pale skin today. I feel like my most delicious when I have a dark lip on with pale skin. I don't know, it's my thing. I'm into it, but you don't have to do it. I really hope you enjoy the tutorial. Please subscribe if you have not. Thumbs up the video if you enjoy it, and check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms. And I'll catch you in the next one. Love you more than you will ever know. Bye! Guys, we're going to start off with priming our eyes. Today I'm using MAC Painterly Paint Pot, but a concealer or any other primer you have will do just fine. Just make sure you get it on there. It's going to make sure our eyeshadows stick down to our eyelid and last all day. And then I'll set it lightly with a pale eyeshadow similar to the color of my skin tone, but you can definitely just use a translucent powder if you want to, and this step is optional. Next, taking Makeup Geek Simply Marlena and Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie mixed together on my brush, I'm going to start working this in the outer corner of my eye, moving upwards in a diagonal motion. This is a smoky cat eye. If you guys want a full tutorial on this technique, I will link it right here. But basically, this is going to act as our upper transition crease color. And since the rest of the colors we're going in with are pretty dark, I made that pretty saturated. Then taking this Makeup Forever color, I will link it down below. I have one of this color since they launched the new line of eyeshadows a couple of years ago. It is definitely Big Daddy Colossus of Clout in this look. I'm just gonna build it up on the outer corner with a smaller brush. You definitely wanna take your time when you're using these Makeup Forever eyeshadows. They are extremely beautifully pigmented, so you wanna work in small amounts at a time and lay your pigment down with a smaller brush and then immediately take a bigger brush like I'm doing here to kind of blend it out and soften it. I go back and forth and do this a few times. Depending on what you mix this color with, since I did go in with like a pink transition color, it's definitely pulling more towards a violet. It's not a stark red, but I'm sure that you could manipulate it to make it look much more of a true red tone. Now it just looks like a really pretty cherry color. Then I'm taking this violet, kind of deep, dark purple color from Makeup Forever. Any dark purple will work, and I'm gonna put that on the outer corner of my eye with a smaller brush and kind of slightly start moving it upwards and inwards. I love to use purples to deepen up pinks and reds, but you can use black if you don't have a purple color like this, but there's so many nice matte purples out there, and anyone that's just darker than your pink will work. And as always, we're gonna go in with bigger brushes to soften up edges and make sure we don't have any harsh lines. Then taking a really fluid concealer, I think this is a Bare Minerals liquid one, I'm just gonna kind of start carving out my lid where I'm gonna lay down my lid color. This is a really easy way to make sure that your lid colors pop and stay really frosty and metallic, but just make sure you blend out that cream texture with a fluffy brush so that your pigment, which is in this case Snatch by Urban Decay, it's one of my favorite eyeshadows in the entire world, you wanna make sure that this pigment isn't kind of grabbing and sticking to any extremely wet or sticky edges. It can make it really difficult to blend. I'm just patting that on top of the concealer, and then I will take another fluffy brush with a little bit of that extra red color on it to kind of blend it into the matte part of our look. And then I'll add a little bit of black shadow in the outer corner to deepen up a little bit more, but that is optional. I just wanted it to be super smoky. Then I'm going to go ahead and do my liner. I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in Black is Black. I'm just going to put a thin line of it on my, well, I was about to say waterline, no, my lash line. Liner is optional in every look that I do, but since I kind of tend to go in with really thick lashes, speaking of lashes, I'm curling my lashes and putting on mascara. I'm using the Makeup Forever Excessive Lash. It's like my new favorite mascara of life. But since I tend to go in with really thick, dense lashes, this is the easiest way for me to make sure that my lash band is hidden and that you can't see it. For lashes today, I don't have a picture of the box, but I've used these 1,000,001 times. I'm actually going to go in with the Eylure Grand Glamour Vegas Nay lashes. I will link
something down below where you can find them. They're a really beautiful option. They look like mink even though they are not. I do not wear mink lashes. I don't approve of them. I think they're horrible, but these do have a nice texture similar to like a mink. My face is so red because before I started filming this video, I was testing out a million different lipsticks. That's why the bottom half of my face is so red. I just couldn't get all the residual goo from all the trial runs off of my face, but I am priming. I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer, just putting in the areas of my face that have the most texture, which is my cheeks, my nose, and my forehead. It also does help mattify and make your makeup last all day. For foundation, I'm doing the L'Oreal True Match Original Formula. I don't really have a lot of pale skin foundations. It's the only reason I'm using this. I'm trying to get away from products that test on animals like I've told you guys before. If you have any recommendations for ones that you really, really like, I would love to know them. My favorite foundation that I use normally that is cruelty-free is the Too Faced Born This Way. It's absolutely stunning, but I'm just dying to try the new Kat Von D formulation and the concealers, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just putting this all over my skin with a damp Real Technique sponge, I believe this is called. I do like this foundation. I just wish L'Oreal would kind of get with the times and stop testing on our furry friends, but I'm just putting this all over my skin to kind of cover up any redness and discoloration, and I have a lot of it right now. Then I'm taking the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers, and I tend to come back to it every time I am pale because I have so many of these, and they're in my color when I'm pale. It's a gorgeous, super high coverage, hydrating, beautiful formula. I really like it. I remember the first few times I tried it, I absolutely hated it. But as I've said in many videos before, I think kind of the trick here is to either warm it up for a little bit on the back of your hand and then go in with your fingers, or apply it with a brush to make sure it spreads evenly and gets where you want it to be. Because it is a little bit thicker of a formula, it can get cakey or creasy, but you just have to work with it a little bit and get used to it. And once you do, like, I haven't met anyone who doesn't actually really, really like this concealer once they figured out how they want to use it. But when I do my concealer, I always conceal underneath my eyes, my chin, my cupid's bow, the bridge of my nose, and a little bit down my forehead. Once again, laid it down with a brush, and then I'll blend it out with a sponge or a beauty blender or whatever equivalent of that you have. Off camera, I'm going to go ahead and bake using my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I never see a point in including me laying down the powder because it's just kind of a boring process that nothing really changes. I will link my how to bake your makeup tutorial. I'm thinking about doing an updated one because I've definitely changed my technique quite a bit. Let me know, thumbs up, or leave a comment down below if you'd be interested in seeing that. But now I'm just dusting all that powder away using a brush from Sephora that I absolutely love. Then taking my Hoola from Benefit, is that Benefit? Hoola bronzer, yeah. On this brush that I got from Vanity Planet. It is in their vegan brush line. I love this brush. I use it pretty much every day. I would buy the kit just for this brush, to be honest. I get so much use out of it, but I'm just gonna use it to bronze the outer perimeter of my face. And this bronzer from Hoola, from Benefit, called Hoola, is really one of my favorite fair skin bronzers, but I am definitely always on the lookout for suggestions, dupes, blah, blah, blah. So leave any down below if you get some. Then I'm taking the IT Cosmetics Contour Kit and the light contour shade in the contour kit. This is my favorite contour kit to use when I am fair. I think that the soft contour and the light contour shades in the palette are just absolutely stunning and beautiful. A lot of contour kits I don't feel like have good shades for super fair skin, and this one I think is extremely well-rounded. But I'm just carving out my jawline, the back of my cheeks, and I'll hit a little bit on my forehead as well. When I'm this fair, I don't have to go too banana sandwich with contouring because I've got so much brightness on my face already that it kind of does like a reverse contour action. Speaking of reverse contouring, I've said contour like 5,000 times in this video. Wow, I'm just gonna bust a little bit underneath of a little bit of loose powder underneath my contour to clean it up. Under eyes. Now I'm taking that Peach Smoothie Simply Marlena mixture on my brush and running it all the way around my eye, and then I'll take the Morello Cherry color on a smaller brush and kind of push it right underneath the lash line to deepen up the intensity on the outer corner. And I will always take the bigger brush that I started with. In this case, it was a pencil brush, to soften up the edges and make sure that it blends nicely into my skin. And then I'm going to take the violet kind of purple color. You could use black, like I said before, even closer to the lash line just to really smoke it out, sauerkraut. But, you know, this lower lash line bit is always very optional. Taking that fluid concealer, I am carving out where I'm going to do my little inner eye pocket. I've been really into this lately, but you do not have to do it. And then I'll take that kind of angle brush with a little bit of the Snatch from Urban Decay, put it all over the little eye pocket I made, and then sharpen up the edge with that purple shade. And then I'll put a little bit of a cream colored pencil just in the area of my eye that I lightened up so that it really, really pops and stays super bright in that inner part of my eye. And then I'll take a violet eyeliner from Makeup Forever and just push it all along the waterline to deepen up the outer corner. It really exaggerates and elongates this kind of illusion that we've created with the inner eye pocket detail. But as I always say, do what you want. It's very, very optional. Dusting away that cooking powder, making sure I get all that schmutz off my face. I'm gonna go in and highlight with the Mercier Matte 01 highlighter. It's my favorite, one of my favorite, like top 3 highlighters in the whole world. It's absolutely stunning. For blush, I'm taking Captivating from Tarte. It's one of my favorites to wear when I'm fair and when I want a blush that's nice and neutral and doesn't compete with the rest of my look. And then after I blushed, I add just a little bit more highlight on the tops of my cheeks. For lips, I'm taking MAC Vino Lip Liner to outline the outer parameter of my lips because I'm going in with a very, very dark purple, beautiful shade. So, I mean, you could definitely use a neutral lip liner anytime you are doing your lipstick. You can use a neutral lip liner for a dark lip, but I just wanted to go in with a darker one, and this is the only one that I had that was this color. And for lipstick, I'm using Kat Von D Homegirl. As you can tell, it's one of my favorites. So I kind of dabbed a little bit of it on my lip straight from the tube, and then I had to go in with a lip brush to kind of get the more finer details. It's been so long since I've worn like a regular lipstick. Spraying with Skindinavia makeup setting spray, and you are done. Love you guys.